Hi everybody. Um, Hello eBay people. I I have a story for you. And this is one of the craziest eBay stories you'll probably ever hear. Um, Warning, I know it's going to be long. I'm just recording it now. I don't know how long it will be, but I know it will be long. So get comfy, grab a snack. If you are only ever going to watch one of my eBay videos and you're a seller, this should be the one. Because this is very good information to know. Even if you never encountered this guy, if you ever encounter somebody like this guy. Um, yeah, so as I'm recording this, it is December 11th, 2019, and this item was sold on August 19th, 2019. The buyer paid on the 20th, and I shipped it on the 21st. The item was an autograph poster, and it sold. He sent me an offer, and I accepted it. The username was Sherman DC. Uh, yeah, he sent me an offer for $1,500. I accepted. There was $25 shipping, so $1,525 US. That's over 2 grand Canadian. Like, I don't even know what to say about this. Spoiler alert, I won in the end. Okay, so yeah, he buys, he pays. This I will show you is the packaging slip. You can see it was sent through Purelator. You can see there's no COD on this. You can see the amount listed was $1,500. And that would have been 1,500 Canadian, actually. And it was packaged very well, also. Double tubed. It was in one tube. It was wrapped in plastic, and I think a layer of bubble wrap, and then in a tube, and then like 3 layers of bubble wrap, and in a bigger tube. Like this was not getting damaged. So, uh, yeah, on September 3rd, the first message comes in from this guy. Where are my messages here? All he says, the first message, what's going on with this? So I checked the tracking, and I could see it had been held. So I said, tracking shows there's been multiple attempts made to deliver the package. Have you contacted them to arrange pickup or a new delivery time? And he says, that's not what I mean. They want $1,143 US because it's a COD order. That's not what I agreed to, nor is this what the listing said. Please refund immediately. Upon looking into things, he left me negative feedback at that point that said seller shipped the COD with $1,100 owing. He just kept sending. Each time he messaged me, it was like 3 messages. So here's another one, all in caps. I never agreed to pay an additional $1,143. I said, thanks for the negative feedback. If you're being charged duty, that's your responsibility. All you pay me for is the item and the shipping. The item, uh, the item limit for the United States is $800. So he would have only been charged on $700 for whatever's over that. So that amount doesn't make sense for duty fees. Says, according to UPS, you sent the COD with $1,143 to be collected. Your listing said nothing about paying twice for this item. It just says not a COD order. Let's see what you're looking at to make you think it is COD. I'm not paying $1,143 COD charge. If you knew this, you should have said this. I refuse delivery and it's heading back your way. Now remember, this is the 3rd of September, and he's telling me he's already refused delivery on this and it's coming back. Yeah, I sent him the link even to Purelator where you can see in their rules they don't do CODs. I said I shouldn't have explained duty fees to buyers. It's common sense. And he starts freaking out that I'm a scammer. Yeah, so let's jump back a little bit. This buyer is Sherman Ragland. Crane Highway, 3540 Crane Highway in Bowie, Maryland. This is not his home address. This is a UPS store. So yeah, rather than having just a normal post office box, he has one at the UPS store. When you ship through Purolator, that's who handles it once it crosses into the United States is UPS. It's like, I want to say the luck of this was amazing, but luck implies something good. So I don't know what word I want, but it sucked the way this went. So here's the tracking information. You can see when it was sent. Keeps going. Somewhere in here, it even says the receiver must pay the duties or taxes due on this package. So there must have been some sort of duty fees owing. Doesn't say how much though. So yeah, if we go up here on the 28th is when of August, 28th of August is when they first start trying to deliver it. First attempt. Second attempt, they had to go back twice for some reason. Here's the 30th. Unable to collect funds. But then later that night, it even says about the signature. That's actually weird. I never actually noticed that first. But then, yeah, anyway, so this is August 30th. And remember, he's messaging me on the 3rd claiming he's sent it back. He's refused it. As you can see on September 11th, they were still holding it. And on the 23rd of September, again. So that's over a month after I sent it. So as we can see, Sherman Ragland did not actually return anything or refuse the delivery when he said he did. I even called that UPS store because yeah, here's the shitty thing. Like if I had sent this through Canada Post and the United States Postal Service had handled this once across the border, it never would have been left on that site. It would have been taken back to the United States Post Office and it would have been held there for pickup. But because just the dumb fucking luck of this, that Purolator gets UPS to handle their packages past the border, and he was having his stuff sent to a UPS depot, which he didn't even know this information before he purchased. So it's not even like he schemed on that one. This was just the way it worked out. But yeah, they held the package there at that site for him because it's UPS. So yeah, I called that store. I verified that he told them to hold it, that it was not being returned, it was being held. But then she realized who we were talking about, and all of a sudden her attitude totally changed. She wouldn't help me, she wouldn't say anything else. I said, I'm the sender of this package and this is what's going on. Like, he's trying to rip me off. He's definitely trying to get a refund. But yeah, that was the end of that phone call. So yeah, at this point, this is exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to get refunded so that he can then go and pick up this package because apparently I can't have it recalled and brought back to me as the sender. At this point as well, yeah, he had lost the eBay case, like I want to say a couple weeks, maybe. Not even. I guess at least a week and a half maybe have gone by because he lost the eBay case after he opened it. It's all good. I posted his information to warn people on a eBay bad buyer group that I'm on. Be careful with these groups. Don't ever post someone's name if you are still dealing with somebody, because there are a lot of other bad buyers who are on this group who will message these other bad buyers that are being reported who may not know how the system works, and they will tell them, do this to get away with it. Do this to rip the seller off. That's basically what happened. I posted all this information, and there's not even I don't know any other way to just say this, so I'm just going to say it as it is. He's a black guy, and there were about 3 or 4 black women who were freaking out on my posts, trying to pull some sort of race card that he couldn't have done anything wrong. Just, and he clearly did. Like, he was clearly so in the wrong. He was clearly so full of shit. But no, like, to them, he couldn't do any wrong because he was a black guy. Um, so yeah, it got awkward because now I'm just having to block black people from my posts like that. Never in my life would I have thought I would have to do something like that, but there I was. But it was too late because they knew his username. They knew who he was. He's a public figure. You can find his bullshit interviews and lack of advice on YouTube here. You can find his business websites. You can find all his contact information. So yeah, one, if not all of them, contacted him and told him what to do next. So he opens a case with PayPal. I wasn't too worried about it, especially when his first reason for opening the case was he claimed unauthorized use of his account. But then he attaches a message to this case of PayPal that even says, this is not as described. He's doing the same thing. The seller sent it owing COD charges, blah, blah, blah. So he claims unauthorized use, but even admits that he purchased it. So yeah, like double whammy. Because if somebody says unauthorized and you have tracking, you're protected. But he's lying. So yeah, call PayPal, and right away they're like, "Yeah, we're shutting this down." Because yeah, you're right. He's lying right there in his message. So yeah, they close it. He appeals. And yeah, we had it closed again, but then he opened it a second case. I didn't even know you could open a secondary case, like after you open one and appeal. I thought that was just it. He opened a second case. At this point now, he was claiming not as described. And PayPal again closed the case and sided with us. And now, again, looking back, I know this was like the end of September, middle of September that he opened his first case. But as things went on, quite a bit of time still went by. So I can't tell you exact dates. I don't have things printed off. I'm not worried too much about that. The second case, he claimed not as described, and PayPal shut that one down too because again, they're saying he lied in his first attempt. It is clear that he's just trying to scam you, and there's nothing not as described about this. So they closed it again. He appealed again. Again, they shut it down. And at that point, the rep said, "I'm putting notes on this for everybody to not let him open another case on you because this is ridiculous." He's like, they go, even if he tries, he shouldn't be able to because he's lost so many. But just in case, I'm making sure there's notes so this doesn't happen again. There's no more cases. And that was the end of it for a bit. So, yeah, let's go back to the tracking now. On September 23rd, yeah, he finally, was the last attempt. It finally starts coming back on September 24th. October 7th, it arrives in Regina on October 7th. So this is the last stop. We don't have a UPS in our city. This is the last stop. Arrives in Regina. And then nothing until Halloween. We're attempting to verify the package location / investigation. To be honest, we weren't even paying attention to the tracking because nothing had been happening for so long and it didn't look like it was ever going to come back. But yeah, this was held way longer than it should have been. They should have only held it in the United States for 10 days. That's the policy, but it was held for quite a while. Yeah, so something was obviously up when it got to Regina, and nothing happened for 3 weeks. Then on the 4th, your package was damaged in transit. We will notify the sender with details. All merchandise is being delivered. UPS will notify the sender with details of the damage. We never were notified of anything. And then here it says return to shipper. And everything above this is just later on stuff where we were notifying UPS that we didn't get anything. But yeah, there we go. The 5th, 9:38 a.m., something was delivered to us. So like I said, we weren't really paying attention to the tracking or anything at this point. We had our funds. He had been denied all his previous claims. We had the money. You supposedly couldn't open another case. We thought everything was good. Things have been quiet for a while. But yeah, Tuesday, November 5th, it's about 9 a.m. I got an email from PayPal saying a case had been opened. And it's this guy again. I think it's really weird too, just the timing of this. Like obviously he was paying attention to things. Yeah, case open. This time he was claiming item not received. And yeah, 9:38 this package was delivered to our house. I was right there sitting on my couch right by the window. I didn't hear or see anybody. But about 10 minutes after that, it wasn't even 10 o'clock yet, my husband arrives home and there's a package sitting on the doorstep. As you can see, we sent this requiring signature confirmation. Also, as you can see, a tracking number changed in here. I've never seen that happen before with anything being returned. You know, when going there, it doesn't even, there's a different reference number, but you can still track it all the way there. I can't even show you this now because it's on a Purolator's system. It's been too long since we shipped it, but going there, you can track the whole thing all the way with Purolator. There's a different reference number on UPS, but you can still track it with the Purolator number on UPS. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, nobody knocked on our door to have a sign for anything. Probably because of this new information and not having the original packaging that said signatures required. But regardless, I mean, I was right there. If I didn't hear it or see it being delivered, nobody could have tampered with it on our doorstep. Also, as you can see in the tracking information, something wasn't right. It was held in Regina for almost a month, like 3 weeks, because something was missing. Something wasn't right. So yeah, this package comes and it's, remember how I said I double tubed it? This is the inside tube. The outer tube is gone. All the protective packaging is gone. I have an empty inside tube. So it appears to us and to everybody who had dealt with this, PayPal, eBay, everybody, even the cops agreed that it appears that when he was having it held, because he seemed to know somebody working there, they gave him access to the package. He took it out, and then, yeah, just sent that back. Sent an empty package back. So yeah, call PayPal and the rep, you know, I'm saying how the hell does this even happen? He was denied so many times. I don't know how he is even still able to open claims. And he says, yeah, I can see the notes here not to let him. But he says, to be honest, he uploaded a 14-page document, and I don't want to read the whole thing. And technically, at that point, he was correct with his claim that he hadn't received something because tracking did not show anything had ever been delivered to him. So the rep, yeah, they had no choice. They had to refund him. They took the money out of our PayPal account, and we had quite a bit in there. I think we had about $800 or $900 at the time, but not $1,500. So that left our PayPal account a little short. And then they, yeah, like reversed that, decided against taking from our PayPal, tried to take from the bank account attached to the PayPal, which did not have $2,000 in it. So that bounced, and because that's actually a savings account, that was a $50 NSF charge that we got dinged by our bank. And yeah, and then they went back and they got it from PayPal later when after it bounced, there was later on more money one day in our PayPal account. So yeah, there was no stopping it. They got the money. He got his money. And now what do we do? I bitched out PayPal. I I wasn't taking too bad for an answer on this. So they sent a message, and they asked us for. Do I have this right in front of me? In order to continue with this investigation, a report must be filed with a law enforcement agency or government organization. You may choose to contact your local law enforcement agency, such as your local police or sheriff's department, or you may choose to file a report with any other government agency of your choice. Examples of such agencies could include Internet Crime Complaint Center, which is actually the FBI, your state's Consumer Protection Office, which ours doesn't even deal with stuff like this. Although when I called him, he was very interested in what was going on, and he said this is kind of ridiculous. Um, Fun fact, he also said he gets a ton of calls from people that have the exact opposite complaint as me. So he, like he felt bad for me what was happening, but he was actually quite thankful that I called him and he got some insight onto things because he says, so what you're telling me is when these people call me and they're losing case of the PayPal, it's because they are in the wrong. And I'm like, yes, because PayPal, unless a seller has strong evidence, like we did in this case, um, yeah, otherwise they usually would just refund a buyer. So, um, yeah, anyways. State police, federal law enforcement like FBI, Postal Inspection Service, which we don't have that. This wasn't even sent by like the USPS or Canada Post. The Better Business Bureau does not count. Um, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, call back. Double double checked everything with PayPal. They said they would take a police report from either the RCMP or the local police department. We had to go to the local police department. And if you follow this channel, you know we've had a few run-ins with them. Although the worst cop got fired for the things that he was doing, so that's good. And this officer we talked to was Officer Sills, Constable, I think Sills. I don't know the actual title, but he's a pretty decent guy. And but he was kind of like, what are we supposed to do about this? I'm like, I know. I said I feel like a tool sitting here wasting your time to do this, but I said this is over $2,000 that we have been ripped off on, and our only way to fight this now is to have a police report because this is what PayPal is asking of us. And so it was weird, but he understood um, that we really had no other choice. So he took the report. They filled it all out. This cost us another $50 because once it's filed, you have to write a letter and give them $50 to get a copy of the whole form. But we got it. Call PayPal. They give us the link. We submitted it, and right away we got our 1,525 US dollars back. But I had PayPal on the phone when it happened, and I said, so this refund now. As it came in, and I said transfer from bank account or something like that. Um, things were just different. Like I immediately knew something was slightly different about this than when you win a case. And I don't think there was an appeal email. But I said, like, does this money get taken back from the buyer, or is this like a courtesy refund from PayPal? They said, no, this is a courtesy refund. This money is from PayPal. And that really sucked. And the rep that day, she was really mad about this too. She goes, yep. She goes, this isn't right. He totally got away with this. And now PayPal as a company is out money for no reason because he got away with scamming you. And she even says, she goes, what the hell were the other reps thinking? She said she was gonna internally escalate it a supervisor or something, because she said there was so many notes on this. Like, nobody should have been letting him open that last case. But like we both agreed, at least we know there's absolutely no way he could ever touch that money again. Like, it was just ours. And yeah, like I said, there was a $50 NSF fee from the bank, and a $50 charge for that report from the police. So there was another $100 this cost us. But yeah, in the end, we won. And because you're probably wondering about insurance, because we had the value marked, it was insured for $1,500 Canadian at least. Purolator doesn't like to insure things. We've had problems in the past where things have arrived broken and they've made up excuses and then said, oh, that wasn't an insurable item, even though they took the insurance money payment for it to be insured. So yeah, we kind of figured that wasn't going anywhere. We had asked, they said you have to talk to UPS. UPS would never return a phone call. Then we noticed on the tracking, like a few days after everything, while we're waiting to see about police reports, that's when we saw it said attempted delivery again, like later on. And we're like, oh, so did they find something? Like, what did they try to deliver? So called them back and they said, oh no, that doesn't mean we tried to deliver. We were trying to pick up. I said, pick up what? We're not shipping anything now. Oh, we need that empty package for our investigation. Excuse me. We need that empty package for our investigation. I said, well, according to your tracking, you already investigated for 3 weeks. Well, it was in Regina, but like, okay. I said, nobody was even here yesterday. I was home all day, but whatever, come get it. So they came and got it, and then we actually did get a phone call back, and they said, we can't reveal any results of our investigation, even though, again, tracking says we're going to notify the sender with the results of our investigation. We're going to let the shipper know things. Yeah, we can't tell you anything. We can only tell Purolator, and we'll pay out the insurance to them. So they kind of made it sound like they're paying out the insurance. Purolator says they're responsible for it. They make it sound like they're going to pay it out. But yeah, they're telling us we have to open the claim through Purolator. So we went back to Purolator, and Purolator was like, oh, well, we need to know what your cost of it is. So I guess the fact that, we had an item that we should have made several $100s on. It should have been our big seller. That opportunity was taken away. That doesn't matter at all. It's just the cost of the item. But now eBay fees that it costs us aren't being taken into consideration, which I thought I had it printed off. I forget what the fees were, but it was quite a bit. It was way over $100 on eBay fees. PayPal fees, I forget if we still had to pay the $50 NSF fee from the bank and the $50 police report fee. Like, there's other expenses even besides the item. And the item. Now, if you go to a convention, you're at Comic-Con, you go to somebody's table, you buy an item from them, you're not getting invoices from them. And what if this was a gift that somebody had? A lot of people probably wouldn't even have receipts or proof of value on things like this. Again, they took a payment for $1,500 of insurance. Like, the shipping costs adjust accordingly to what you enter the value of because of insurance. And what if this was like an item that we were obtaining ourselves? Like, what if this was a poster that we had taken to a bunch of different conventions that we go to, had it signed by everybody? When you get somebody's autograph, you can't ask them for a receipt. You don't, it's just, this is what it is. This is what it's sold for. That kind of makes it the value. So, yeah, PayPal or Purolator's wanting to just know the cost, what we paid for that item, is a little ridiculous, and I'm not really impressed with Purolator on that. But yeah, we were able to track down a receipt, but yeah, never heard anything about it. So yeah, as usual, Purolator not paying out insurance. But yeah, again, we won with PayPal in the end. We got the refund. So Uh, yeah, just it brought our profit down in the end. Brought our profit down a little bit, but yeah, we still won in the end. Victory is ours. Um, so yeah, just keep this in mind for anything you sell. I guess especially high value items. I got a couple other stories to record, but I was ripped off a couple other times over the summer. Um, and things that I don't know how PayPal ever had. I don't know what their logic was for these other cases, but I was never even given an opportunity like this with those. So I don't know if it's like over $1,000 they'll allow courtesy refunds. I don't know. I didn't ask, but yeah, just keep these things in mind if you ever have an issue. Um, and for high value items, I don't want anybody to be scared to sell high value items. I'm not. I still have many other items listed for $1,000, $1,200, $1,500. Um, I'm not scared to sell them. Uh, very rarely. Usually the scammers I encounter are a lot lower amounts, like under $100. So this is a very rare um, experience for this one. But yeah, because usually scammers, the type of people who are going to rip someone off, those kind of people, they're low lives. They're the bottom of the barrel. They don't have money to front to scam someone on a high value item. This guy just happened to be a big shot who had some money. So yeah, I will continue to sell high value items. I'm not worried about it. Um, but anyways, that's it. I don't think I have anything else to add to this. So thank you for watching. Good night.